All right, just a quick one today, guys. I didn't want you to think I was slacking off on this project, the Vevor project. Let me explain what I got going on here. This is an equipment rack made by Mid-Atlantic. I've had it around here in the box brand new for about 10 years now. I pulled it out of the box and wouldn't you know it, it was missing the uprights. So I had to make some uprights with angle iron, but it's probably a lot sturdier anyways. So let me bring you in here and we'll go over what I got going. Okay, starting over here, we've got some 2AWG cable feeding a 200 amp fuse, and then that comes over to this contactor. Now this is a Kilovac 500 amps 900 volt rated DC contactors. They use these in EVs and things like that. I still have to wire that up, so it comes through the Kilovac and then up into the inverter. So this is on the positive side. On the negative side, we're going into a Victron 500 amp SmartShunt, and then it goes obviously up into the inverter. And then what we have over here, this is going to be the switch, the first iteration anyways. I'm going to activate the contactor manually to start off with, just to get this thing up off the ground. So we've got an on-off switch, and we've got a momentary push button. The momentary push button is going to be for the pre-charge resistor. This is a 25 watt 20 ohm resistor, so it should charge the capacitors in the inverter in about 1 or 2 seconds, something like that. So I'll have to hold the button down for a second or so, and then turn the inverter on. Okay, and this is all going to be automated. I might use something like this here, just a time delay kind of circuit, or maybe we'll do something with a microprocessor. I don't know yet. Then we've got the Vevor 6 kilowatt inverter that we did the teardown on a couple videos ago. And so I figured, since this is a 240 volt only inverter, why not go with a European DIN rail style single phase consumer unit? And that's complete with a residual current circuit breaker right here. So the inverter feeds into here. You've got line and neutral, and this thing will trip if there's any kind of a current imbalance between line and neutral, shutting off the power to these circuit breakers. This is a DIN rail style system, and these are typical for the kind of consumer units that they use in Europe. So you've got your neutral, you've got the ground, and then these are little miniature DIN rail circuit breakers. And we've got let's see what we have in here. This is a 32 amp, a 20, a 10, a 6, and another 6. And then coming out of there is, I still have to do another one, but this is the 240 volts that's going to feed our load. And the load, of course, is going to be a couple Antminers. These are S19Js, and each one's good for about 3 kilowatts. And we can regulate them up and down a little bit to get our load exactly where we want it. So this should be able to load test the inverter pretty good. We'll be able to do a nice long load test run on it. And I'll probably take the cover off and then set up an infrared camera, and we'll see how hot it gets inside. I did also get in a 100 amp hour battery. This is a golf cart style battery. but I kind of like it because it's got the charger with it and it's got a readout. Actually, let's do a quick unboxing on that. I haven't even unboxed it yet. All right. This is from a company called Allpond. Instructions and a warranty card. Let's go through the instructions here. It's a 51.2 volt, 100 amp hour. I'll take some pictures of any pertinent specs and put it up on the screen for you. But we've got the battery, a charger, LCD screen, the manual, the cables for the screen, and a strap. Okay, battery size is 520 by 269 by 220 millimeters. That's 20.47 by 10.59 by 8.66 inches. Weighs 87 pounds. Power, it's got 5,120 watt hours. Total capacity 100 amp hours, 0.2C discharge. Nominal voltage 51.2, self-discharge 3% per month. Continuous charge 50 amps, standard charge 18 amps. Standard charge time 6 hours, continuous discharge 200 amps. Peak 315 amps with a 30-second limit, I guess, on that, and 600 amps with 3-second limit. Waterproof rating IP65, terminal type M8. Charging 0C to 50C, that's 32 to 122 Fahrenheit. Discharge minus 20C to minus 60C, that's minus 4 Fahrenheit to 104 Fahrenheit. Storage, low temperature cutoff protection is 0C to plus 4C, 32 plus or minus 7.2 Fahrenheit. That's for charging. Low temperature cutoff protection for discharge is minus 20 to plus or minus 4, minus 4 Fahrenheit plus or minus 7.2 Fahrenheit. It's got state indicators on it, green charging waiting, blinking red lamp, fast charge, green flash, constant voltage and current limiting, green charge complete. Okay, you got specs on the charger. It's got built-in Bluetooth, what the Bluetooth app looks like. Let's get into the good stuff here. It's a big one. Okay, we got some straps and some bolts for the terminals. We have the display, and there's not a separate cable, it's a built-in already attached cable. Several different length bolts here. Here's the charger. It'll operate from 90 volts to 264 volts AC and 47 to 63 hertz. Constant voltage output 56.8 plus or minus 0.2 volts. And it's got a green charging indicator. Blinking red lamp is fast charge. Green flash, constant voltage and current limiting. Constant green charge complete. All right, let's get this 87 pounds out of here, I guess. Okay, there's a, well, that's, I don't like that. There's the connector for the display over here, and it's possible, you gotta watch this, it's possible to lift this up with this strap wrapped around the connector. So that could possibly be an issue. Wouldn't want to break that connector off. So there it is. Let's see if they provided any kind of charge on here. .5 volts. Guess it's working. All right, that's about it for this one. I'll get the rest of this thing wired up, and then we'll see about doing some load tests on this inverter. Gonna be interesting. You guys think it's gonna be able to run these 2 amp miners? I'm not gonna hook any PV up to it for right now. We're just gonna do tests with the battery. I've got one spare array that comes into here that I could put. I think it's about 1600 watts, so we can put that on it just to make sure that the MPPT is working and everything. I guess that's about it for this one, and I should be back soon with the next phase of this thing. Let's do like a mini series on it and do like a step-by-step kind of deal here. We'll start out, make sure everything's running, and do a light load test with 1 miner, and then we'll go into the full bore, can we break it kind of deal here. One thing I want to mention is Allpond supplied the battery for this test. They did not pay to have this video produced. We'll be doing a test on the battery at the same time that we do a test on the Vevor. We'll make sure the specs on the battery are what they claim them to be. Okay guys, I appreciate you, and until next time, have a good one. Adios.